Buddy JC here with another T&I toy review, and today we're going to take a look at the new Suicide Squad New 52 Captain Boomerang figure. This is the third figure in the assortment of Suicide Squad figures. The other two figures released were Harley Quinn and Deadshot, which we've previously taken a look at. Captain Boomerang here comes in the same style of packaging as the other two figures. We've got the black and red highlights matching the Suicide Squad, along with the Suicide Squad logo up at the top. Figure clearly displayed in the window packaging. We've got the 4 bullet holes down below in the right corner, and then underneath that the name of the figure. Then on one side we have the figure darkened in, and then the other side we have a picture of the actual figure and the name of the sculptor for this one, which was Phil Ramirez. This figure also stands 6.75 inches tall. And finally on the back we have a look at the thumbnail image of the figure along with a little brief bio for the Suicide Squad, and then the other figures in this series, which as I mentioned were Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. I think overall DC Collectibles did a great job with capturing the overall look of this character in his new 52 look. I like the detailing on the face sculpt. I think that is very basically dead on to what you see in the comic books with the sideburns and everything, which look really nice. He's got some nice texturing on his hat along with the little boomerang symbol. And he's got this soft vinyl material scarf that hangs around his neck. It's not removable or anything, but it is flexible and will move. And then same with the jacket. The body of the jacket is basically this soft vinyl material, so it doesn't prohibits a little bit of the figure's movement, but not too much, and we'll get into that with the articulation. But it just gives a nice flowing effect, which looks pretty good. And then he's also got on his chest, he's got this belt with other boomerangs, and then there's a ring that's empty on the belt, so you can take the one boomerang that he comes with, and you can slide it in there. So you can basically hold all of his boomerangs. Now the last one, it doesn't fit quite as well as the other ones, but still, it's a pretty cool feature that they allow you to kind of hold, a little holster for his one boomerang. And his hands, his right hand is sculpted closed and will hold the boomerang, holds it pretty well. And then his other hand is sculpted open, so he can't really hold anything in that hand. For paint apps, pretty solid. Basically uses just basic blacks for most of the body, and then he's got the darker blue on his hat and his shirt, and then he's got some metallic silver on his boots. But overall, pretty nice. I like on the shirt they've got looks like a little bit of white shading on the shirt to just give it some added dimension, along with the sculpted wrinkles on the shirt, so that looks pretty good. For articulation, he's got the pretty standard points of articulation. He does have the ball joints on the legs though, like with Deadshot, so that's good. And he also has a little bit more movement, up and down movement with the head. He can look down more than most figures do, and he can look up some. So, and then he looks left and right, no problems. So that's good. And then he's got the standard ball hinged shoulders. He's got a single hinged elbow, but he's also got a swivel at the elbow. And then he's got a swivel at the cuff of the glove. Note, he has a swivel at the waist, no ab crunch or anything, but he does have a swivel at the waist. And then as I mentioned, he's got the ball hinged joints at the legs, so he can do partial splits. Can't really do his legs back at all with the way the butt is sculpted plus the jacket, but he can do his legs forward pretty good. and as I mentioned, he can do them out somewhat. Single hinged knee, so he can bend his knee about that much, and then he's got the swivel at the boot cuff, and then he does have the up and down joint at the ankles. So again, more articulation than your standard DC collectible figure, so that's pretty good. And as I mentioned before, he stands about 6.75 inches tall, so he's basically the same height as the other two figures in the Suicide Squad assortment. Here's all three of them together, so you can see they're about the same height. Scale-wise, I think Deadshot and Captain Boomerang are pretty good. I still say that Harley Quinn's probably a little too tall. She probably should be a little bit shorter. It's not terrible or anything, but definitely don't think she should really be the same height as the other two. That does it for my review. Overall, I think this is a pretty good figure. Like with Deadshot, I like that we're starting to see more articulation on the figures. I really hope DC Collectibles, continues to move in that direction. I like that he comes with the Boomerang accessory and that they gave him a place to store the Boomerang on his on the belt on his chest. I think that's pretty cool. And then overall, I think that, like I said, they just did a really nice job with capturing the overall look for this character. It definitely looks like straight out of the comic book. So if you're a fan of Captain Boomerang, and especially if you like his new 52 look, then I think you'll definitely want to pick this one up along with the other figures in this series. As I mentioned before, all three of these figures hit comic and specialty shops this past Wednesday, so if you're wanting to pick them up, you should start looking now. So that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll catch you later.